Hi folks, welcome back to the Minnesota homestead. Today we're doing something a little different with our wild berries and making them into delicious adult beverages. Every year my wild raspberry cordial is a hit as a Christmas gift. So I actually make 2 of these every year, and as time goes on I'll probably have to end up making more. Something I made for the first time this year is a double berry rum. I love mojitos. They are far and away my favorite adult beverage. And when I am dreaming of summer, when I can't have fresh wild berries muddled up, I am excited to have this. This is a white rum with wild blackberries and wild raspberries. Last year, I made a wild blueberry brandy. My husband's favorite brandy is Blackberry, but in the first 2 springs we had at the homestead, there were no, 2 summers we had at the homestead, there were no wild blackberries, just none fruited. Well, this year I got 4.5 gallons, so hubby is very happy. And I've already made him a little blackberry brandy, but today I'm going to show you how to make a little more. So, like I just said, we're going to be making the blackberry brandy, but the process is very similar for all of these. And in the comments below this video, I will post the general recipe that I use. So the first thing we do is we have our jar. Want to make sure it's one that seals really tightly. Alcohol can evaporate, and you also want all those nice things sealed in there. So I've got a nice rubber seal here for this jar. I happen to like quite a bit of sugar in my raspberry cordial, but as the blackberry brandy is for husband, we are going to go ahead and just do a small amount. So I'm only going to take a half a cup of sugar, and I'm going to put this right here on the bottom. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wild blackberries. What I'm going to try to do is I think I have enough out to fill the entire jar. If I don't, that's totally okay. You saw that the brandy I just showed a minute ago was not completely full. The key here is making sure that you have enough alcohol to cover up all of the berries so you don't end up with any mold or anything like that. So when you are making your berries into a cordial or a brandy or something like that, you don't need to go super fancy with your alcohol. For my raspberry cordial, that is made with vodka, and I use Absolute for that. For my mojito mix, the white rum was Captain Morgan. And for these brandies, I'm using E&J. Oh, man, I am good. Look how close that is to the top. Just wash my hands real quickly here again, like I did right before I started the video. So, the key here is to make sure you're using something that, again, is not super high end, but you also don't want to use low end because that can mess with the flavor. But because you are spending so much time letting that alcohol meld with these delicious berries, you don't have to worry overly much about what kind of quality you're putting in. So no need for top shelf. Now that I have my berries ready to go, I've got my sugar on the bottom and my berries on top. And now I'm going to top it all off with my brandy. As you can see, these are really simple recipes. I'm not actually making and fermenting my own alcohol or anything like that. So this is a nice, simple way to enjoy some of your berries. Because I'm going to be pouring so much out, I'm going to try and pry the inner lid out. Well, we're going to go with it as it is. So I'm going to just take this. Oh, it's rolling fast anyway. And as I mentioned before, if you don't have a full jar of berries, you don't need to worry. The only thing you need to take care of is, again, making sure that the alcohol completely covers the berries. Alcohol is, strong. It's not going to let anything go bad. So as long as you have that on top of all your berries, you are going to be good to go. while we're waiting for this to get in here, what I will do to take care of the berries and the brandy from now on is these first 3, 4, 5 days here, I'm going to mix this every single day. After that, I'm going to do it about once a week. All right. Beautiful. Make sure this is sealed nice and tight. Then I'm going to shake it up. So we put our sugar on the bottom, and I'm just going to start slowly shaking it in here. And this is really what I'm going to do when I'm stirring it up every couple of days or so. It's going to be very gentle. I don't want to start breaking the berries apart or anything like that. So for these first several days here, I'm just going to do this on a daily basis. And then every week thereafter, I'm going to do this. You'll see now that I'm done shaking that up a little bit, some of the sugar will fall back to the bottom. That will start dissolving, and probably by tomorrow that'll be completely gone. So that is how I make my wild berry alcohol. A couple of tips for how to enjoy it. My husband likes to have his blackberry brandy just over ice. The raspberry cordial is great just over ice, or if you want to do an adult raspberry lemonade and make that with limoncello, it's phenomenal. And then, of course, my favorite, mojitos. Use this, and sometimes I'll take the berries too and muddle those up at the bottom. It's gonna be my only drink for the evening because with the rum-soaked berries, that's gonna add a little bit of an extra kick to it with some of my homegrown mint. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about these. One last thing I will leave you with is how long do you leave the berries in? So typically you'll hear people say 3 to 6 months to leave the berries in to really get that flavor out. I have left mine in far longer than that, and the longer you have it in there, the better it's going to taste. I've actually left my berries in for 1.5 years and just continue to sip on it over that time. Because it's in that alcohol, nothing bad is going to happen to the berries. They are not going to rot, they're not going to mold. As long as you've done it properly, like I explained, you're not going to have any problems. So feel free to leave it in there as long as you need. I've only done 1.5 years, so I don't recommend going farther than that, but I can speak to that being okay. And so just enjoy it, try out some of these great recipes, and along with that, make sure you check out our blog, themnhomestead.com. Follow us on Instagram at the.mn.homestead. And down below here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and then there's a little bell icon next to it. If you hit that, you'll get notified every time we post a video. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.